Hello, everybody. Welcome to Savage Ink Studios. I'm your host, Ink, and today we are going to be covering a serious topic. For those of you who are uncomfortable listening to stuff about abuse, here's your trigger warning. This is not the video for you. Today's topic of conversation, I guess first I should say that part of the reason why I decided to make this YouTube channel was because I wanted a healthy way to tell my stories and get everything that has happened in my life off my back and to be able to talk about it without watching the facial expressions of the person in front of me, because it's really, really hard for me to talk about a lot of the stuff that I've been through to an actual person, but that doesn't mean that I don't need to talk about it. So I wanted a healthy way to get all of this stuff off of my chest, and also I really want an opportunity to help people who've been through the things that I've been through. And I can't do that if my story isn't out there. I know that when I was young and struggling, I desperately wanted someone who could relate to my problems to talk to, but I didn't have anybody. So if there is anyone, young, older, in between, going through the things that I've been through, I want to be as good a support system as I can. But this is an issue that I haven't entirely worked through, so I don't know how much help I could be to someone else other than just saying, you're not alone, you're not the only one, there are other people out there who understand and have been there also. But I don't know how encouraging this is going to be, because, like I said, these are problems that I'm still trying to work through and have not found a solution to. So, all of that being said, today's topic of discussion is my hardcore identity crisis and why. So I feel like identity crisis is like a really broad thing to say. I feel like everybody goes through some version of identity crisis at some point in their life. You know, everybody asks themselves, why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I going to do with my life? What do I want to be? And of course, I've asked myself those questions too. I think that's a normal thing that everyone goes through. Everyone struggles with this. But I find myself, when I'm wondering, what do I want to do with my life? Why am I here? What is my purpose? My mind loops back around to more of an issue. Because how am I supposed to think about who I want to be when I don't know who I was supposed to be? I was sexually abused, often, as a very, very small child. There was never a point in my life where I had a chance to be someone who wasn't molded by what happened to me. So, my whole life, I have had to question, do I like girls because I was supposed to be that way, or because someone messed me up? Obviously, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with being gay. I like girls. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. But there is a correlation between people who are sexually abused at a really young age and it changing the way that they feel about people. A lot of people who were abused when they were young end up being attracted to the same sex. It's not every case, but it does happen a lot. Enough to wonder, was I supposed to be straight? I'll never know. And my whole life growing up, I had intended to get a sex change when I turned 18. I wanted to be a boy. Growing up, there was no gender fluid. There was no in between. It was You know, you're either a girl and you're a girl, or you're a girl who doesn't want to be a girl, which means you have to want to be a boy. And I always felt more masculine than I did feminine. So I just assumed that that meant that I was in the wrong body and I had to change it. Being an adult and having the LGBT community like spread out more and having more names for different feelings as an adult, I can totally own being gender fluid. There are days where I'm more masculine, but I'm not going to hate myself for wearing feminine clothing or being feminine sometimes. But that was a really, really hard struggle for me, feeling like I was born in the wrong body and none of my parts were right. Nothing about me was right. My body was wrong. Everything about me was wrong. It wasn't who I was. And I've always had to wonder, was I meant to be something else? Or did what happened to me make me feel like everything about my body was wrong? Because if this hadn't happened to me, part of me feels ugly and weak and wrong for being born female. If I hadn't been abused, maybe I would never have had a problem with being female and my life would have been totally different. I know that I'm an angry, jaded person, and I've been that way since I was young. I was not a happy kid. Even after the abuse stopped, I was not a happy kid. I was negative. I was skeptical. I didn't trust people. And the fact that I will never know who I was supposed to be. Would I have been normal? Which leads me into a whole other spiral. I like who I am. I think that I'm pretty damn cool. And I'm really proud of myself for all of the things that I've managed to accomplish in my life, despite everything that I have been through. But then, when I have this, feeling of, I like myself, I like who I am, does it matter if I am who I am because it is who I was supposed to be, or if I am who I am because I was molded by abuse? That brings me down a whole new rabbit hole of, well, am I allowed to like myself the way that I am? Because if I love myself, if I was made by what happened to me, does that mean that I owe who I am to the person who abused me when I was a baby? Am I allowed to love myself because if I love myself, I'm going to owe it to this person. I'm going to have to be grateful for what happened to me because it made me who I am and I like me. So part of me automatically rejects that. And I want to have this feeling of self-loathing because I don't want to be grateful for what happened to me, because what happened to me was wrong. And what happened to me damaged me and made me hurt in ways that I don't want to hurt. Sorry. I told myself I wasn't going to cry during this video. But I'm not re-recording because I am not doing this again. I don't know if I can like myself. I want to, and I want to be proud of myself, and I want to love myself. But whenever I feel good about myself, I feel like I'm giving credit to the person who did this to me. Because I am almost entirely positive that I am not the person I was supposed to be. There are goth kids. There are goth kids who are goth because they like the style. But I'm going to level with you guys 9 times out of 10 when you see adults with funky hair and piercings and chains on their clothes. They don't just look like that because they like the style. They look like that because they're trying to push people away. And they are trying to push people away because something really, really bad happened to them that was out of their control. Everything down to the way that I wear my hair and the clothes that I like. I have to feel like it's not my identity. It's the identity that I was given by a person who did something terrible. And I feel lost. I know who I am, and I like who I am, but it's not who I was supposed to be. I'm never gonna know what I could have accomplished if I hadn't had all of this baggage my whole life holding me down. I wouldn't know, would I still have depression? Would I still have anxiety? Would my mind have broken the way that it did when it did? How much of this is chemical imbalance because of my genetics, and how much of this is just somebody broke me, and somebody broke me before I had a chance to be me, to find me. I lay awake and I wonder, would I have gone to college? Would I have gotten a good job? Would I have been with someone my own age? Would I have gone to a doctor when I found out that I couldn't have kids to get it fixed? Would I trust people? Would I have friends? What would I have? What would I be? Would I hate myself? What if I was normal and part of me just felt incomplete? And again, that loops back around to, should I be grateful to the person who did this to me, because at least the person that it made me is someone that I love, or that I want to love, or that I don't. Sorry if this is kind of looping. These are things that I don't talk about. But again, part of the reason that I made this channel is because I wanted to be able to talk through the issues that I can't talk about to people face to face. I have owned this, and I have owned that none of this was my fault. And I have said it to myself over and over and over again, just trying to make it numb, trying to make it not my story, but this is my story. This is my life. And I don't know how to make it better. I don't know how to embrace all of myself without feeling like I owe it to the person who molded me. I don't know how much of me is who I'm supposed to be, and how much of me is what I was made. And I don't have the answers. And I don't know what to do about it. And I don't know how to feel better about it. And I don't know if I ever will. But all of this needed to be said. So here I am, ripping my soul open and saying it. I'm not going to go through my regular spiel of like, comment, subscribe. You guys do you. If this helps anyone to feel less alone, anyone who has been through this and needs to feel like there's someone else in the world who understands what they're going through, all of my contact information is in my About page here on my YouTube channel. If anyone needs to reach out and talk, I can't guarantee that I'm going to be of any help, but please know that there is someone else, and if you need to talk about it, I am here, because I never had anyone to talk to about it, and maybe if I had, I wouldn't be so confused. You guys are the best. I will see you in the next video. Peace. Hello everybody, welcome to Savaging